What up, Dragon Trainers? My name's Tyler, and this is Movie News Recap, where I cover everything and anything I think you'll find interesting in the movie news space. And we just got our first character posters for the new How to Train Your Dragon live-action remake, and I am beyond excited. If you guys didn't know, I am a huge How to Train Your Dragon fan. I love all the shows and all the movies. They're like probably my favorite franchise from my childhood. And when I heard they're making this back into a live action format, I was beyond stoked. And now that the marketing's ramping up, because they're actually set to have the world premiere next week at CinemaCon, we're getting all sorts of looks at this movie, and like they're just getting me more and more excited, and I cannot wait for this movie. Yesterday we found out that it was the exact 15-year mark from the release of the first animated movie. We also saw some Funko Pops, which, trust me, they're getting all of my money for that Toothless Pop. But today, just about an hour ago, they revealed all of our character posters for the riders and their dragons, highlighted on each, and our first high-quality images of these dragons and their riders, and I am beyond excited because I actually really like all these designs. I know there's going to be a lot of hate out there, but I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my thoughts on each one and also rank them and give you my opinions as a whole on these posters. So let's go ahead and dive on in. Coming in at 6th and last place, we have Fish Legs and Meat Lug. I know there's one poster in here that is actually higher ranked, and there's not even a rider on it, and that might make some people upset, but I think that this is just my least favorite poster because it doesn't feel like the original two characters from the original movie. I feel like Fish Legs doesn't scream Fish Legs to me. It just doesn't look like him. I think the actor choice is great. I think the casting was fine. I just don't think he looks enough like Fish Legs, like, within the design. And then Meat Lug, I mean, it just doesn't feel like a pit bull. Meat Lug always reminded me of like an energetic pit bull, you know? And this just doesn't feel like a pit bull. I think the color scheming is perfect for it. I just don't see it in the eyes. And I always loved when like Meat Lug would like hang her tongue out and stuff like that and like pant. And you just don't really get that either. I hope they like the way she acts in the movie. She might get more characteristic to her. But with that being said, as a poster, this is definitely my least favorite design and least favorite poster as a whole. But that doesn't mean it's bad. I think when you line it up against the rest of the designs of the movie, it'll fit in just fine. But with that being said, coming in 5th place is going to be the Terrible Terror poster. Alright, so with the Terrible Terror poster, I really like this one just because of the color choices and the way the Terrible Terror looks and the sizing of it. I think this is probably one of the best designs they actually translated over, but because there's not a rider in it and because they're just like little background dragons typically, I'm not going to rank it any higher than 5th. But if you look at this, I love the color of it. I love when you see in the trailer with the way it moves around, I think it's perfect. But there's not much more to say about this other than I really like the design and the color of it. But other than that, that's why it's only in 5th place, but still above Meat Lug because I think it's a better translation. But with that being said, coming in 4th place is going to be Barf and Belch. Okay, so for Barf and Belch, the hideous Zibbleback of the main group, I really like this design. I think it looks just like Barf and Belch, almost just a little bit less characteristics in the eyes, which I wish they gave all of these dragons a little bit more characteristics in their eyes. But other than that, I really like the design. The only reason I rank it this low is because for Barf and Belch, the reason that I like them so much is because of their personality and their chemistry, if you want to call it that, on the screen and the way they interact and fight, like just like the twins do. And because you're in this just the still post, you can't really see it. It does look the way they're facing each other, that they're about to like butt heads, you know? And that gives me the idea that they're going to keep some of that personality coming over, but I can't really talk about how much I like this until I see them actually interact on the screen. So because it is one of the main dragons and their riders, and you get to see it, and I like the design, it is coming in at 4th, but because the reason I like these dragons so much is because of the personality, and I can't really see that yet, it has to be ranked in 4th place. But with that being said, I still do really like the design. I like the greenish color in the background to make it carry over and tie in, just like they've done with all of these posters. But with that being said, coming in our top 3, in our 3rd place, is of course going to be the Monstrous Nightmare poster. Snot loud, oi, oi, oi! Alright, I love Snotlout, okay? Like, Snotlout is one of my favorite characters in this. I just love the way he interacts with the rest of the group. And I love Hookvang as well. But I think Hookvang always has kind of just looked like a typical dragon. And I don't think it was going to be that hard to translate over. And it looks just like a typical dragon on this poster as well. I will say the color scheme in like this burnt red, orange color was the perfect choice to translate over. I think it looks just like it should from the original to this live action remake. I just wish that on this poster they would have made Hookvang turn up into flames in some sort, just like even if it was just his wings on fire or something, because that is Hookvang's main thing, is just igniting his whole body on fire, and I wish we got to see that. But with that being said, I think this isn't a perfect design, and it does just look like Hookvang and Snotlout up there. I know you can't get a great look at Snotlout, but if you watch the trailers, I think Snotlout looks perfect as well, so that's why it's in 3rd place. I don't think it would have got any higher, though, if he had been on fire. That's just because these next two posters are amazing. So with that being said, I think this is going to really upset some people, but coming in at second place is going to be Toothless and Hiccup's poster. Okay, we all know that Toothless and Hiccup are the number one, like, holy grail of the Holy Dragon trilogy. Obviously, they're the main characters. But with that being said, I do love this design. This has no jab to the character design or anything. I think this design is perfect. I love the eyes on Toothless. I think this just carries over that puppy dog or like cat eye look that they like made the emotions come in the original movies. I think this is perfect. I wish they did that on all the dragons actually, but I think the size comparison between Hiccup and Toothless is perfect. And I also think like the posing is great. I don't think it changed at all from the original poster. I love that posing as well. I love the way that it looks like his foot's still going to be adjusting it, which I think we saw in the trailer. I can't wait to see that evolve if we keep getting the rest of the movies whenever he has his peg leg and all that sort of stuff. So I like this poster a lot. It looks great. I think it's basically the same poster we got already, just a different background. I will say I love the title, and it does do this in all where it says like the hideous Zippleback, the monstrous nightmare, but the Night Fury kind of just hits differently because he is the last Night Fury. And I think that's awesome, seeing that it's the Night Fury. And I think that just like really speaks to what Toothless is and what type of character he is as a whole. And then of course Hiccup looks amazing. I think Hiccup looks perfect. I think I mentioned that in my trailer reaction. I think he just resembles Hiccup perfectly. So as a whole, this poster is almost perfect. But the next one's just a little bit better in my opinion. So in first place is the Deadly Natter or Stormfly poster. Let me just preface this choice with the fact that I absolutely love the Deadly Natter. Stormfly has always been my favorite dragon in all of the How to Train Your Dragon universe. Like whenever I played How to Train Your Dragon, School of Dragons, I always picked a Deadly Natter. Like the Deadly Natter is just by far my favorite dragon, so it probably always had an edge on the rest of these posters. But with that being said, I think this design is amazing. The color choice for Stormfly was perfect. And then the eyes, I think that's my only complaint. I wish the eyes were the same as Toothless with those like puppy dog eyes, so you get a little bit more emotion out of them. But with that being said, I think the rest of the dragon is perfect. The tail, I can just imagine whipping around and shooting the spikes out. I think her size comparison with Astrid is amazing. And with that being said, I do like the Astrid design. I know there's a lot of hate for the Astrid design, but I really like it. I think, especially if you watch the trailer, her line delivery is perfect for Astrid. But with that all being said, I do think that the best part of this poster is actually the background with the Northern Lights, the way it reflects the colors of Stormfly, I think is perfect. So if I had to only buy one of these posters, which I don't know, I'm at least buying one of these, and it's gonna have to be this one. I love this poster so much, probably because it is Stormfly and the Deadly Natter design, but this is an amazing poster, and I love this one by far the most out of all of them. Alright guys, but that is my ranking from last place to first place, starting with Meatlug and ending with Stormfly. With that being said though, I love all of these posters other than probably the Meatlug one. I wish they did a different design for Meatlug, but I think all these posters still do look great, and I just got even more hyped for this movie. But go ahead and go down to the comment section, let me know what your favorite design for the dragons were, and what you're ranking from worst to best or best to worst, whatever, however you want to rank it. Let me know what your rating for these posters are. But until next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at Movie News Recap. But until next time, I'm Tyler. Take care.